Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. So today we'll be talking about, well, I thought we'd be talking about the rest of TGS, but we kind of covered everything beforehand.
All the
So,
main bits, like in the previous episode, go watch that.
yeah. So I thought there would be a bit more to it or more reveals, but I was mistaken. But there was one new thing that we will be talking about today. Yeah, so Hoyoverse. Now, this was like the next day. They had like a whole live stream, and they kind of finally revealed ZZZ or Zenless Zone Zero,
Yes.
an 18-minute like I would say gameplay or like a slice of the game for
Yeah.
18 minutes, and it was just called just another day at the video store.
Just
That's
another
it.
day at the video store.
Just another day. And
Typical.
like, man, I think the first minute when you watch this trailer, like, and you're watching the cutscene and like seeing the animation, like I was blown away by the first minute of this video already.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is a game that we've seen before. They revealed it a few months ago. I don't remember which event it was, but instantly they revealed two games. There was Zoneless. I'm just gonna call it that for now, and that Rail to Hokyo Rail, whatever it
Honkai
was.
Star
Honkai,
Rail.
yeah, Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah.
Both looked impressive, but this one, like ZZZ, just took it up a few notches. Very polished. Animation was really cool. The character design was great. Everything about it visually, was just fantastic. It was a 10 out of 10. And again, just like you, when I first started watching this, I'm like, yeah, I forgot how good this is. Like, I'm interested already just based on the looks. Like, that's a shallow thing.
Yeah.
I know. I am a shallow person. I was interested already just based on the like how everything looked. And I was thinking about how whoever the either animation director or game director was on this project probably wanted to do anime, or maybe he has like a background in anime, who knows. Similar to how Hideo Kojima always wanted to do movies and like he brought that into the games. Whoever is in charge of that probably brought in that passion, whether it's just like a dream or experience, brought it into the game because it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But
Yeah.
we'll just cover a bit of the trailer and like the story. So the trailer opens up with the two characters, Belle and Wise, who run a video store called Random Play, and the world is called New Eridu, and it's like it's a post-apocalyptic metropolitan city, and it's apparently like the last shelter of urban civilization. Like this is the description of the the story or the premise of the story, and these guys are just walking to the video store casually with this in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you're used to it, it's just like every other day to you now. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. So this is obviously a cover for their actual jobs as proxies, and apparently a proxy is like a special professional who guides people into the exploration of the hollows. Now, the hollows they show a bit further in the trailer. Is like a place where they enter and like they fight these ethereals or monsters called ethereals, and they don't really explain much other than you just get to see the fantastic, like mind-blowing action that just happens while they're down there. And like you could play up to 3 characters, and like you just cycle through each character while you're fighting, and like just do combos while swapping them in and out. And it looks just smooth, man. Like it just looks like a very clean, awesome action game.
Yeah, the fight scene looked very fun. Like again, because the visuals are so on point, and the fighting mechanic is also fun and fast paced by itself. The package overall is great, and I like the little like when the character does like a cut like a special. There's like a really short sort of cutscene where it zooms in on her eyes and she's carrying the sword, and then she does the special.
that
I
was
think it was
cool.
like an upward strike or something. Like again, adding that sort of polish, they could have kept it without that little tiny bit. Like they could have had it where the character charges up and then like does the strike, and then that's it. Looks cool.
Yeah.
The effects, the CGI, even like the UI elements, like the health bar and the little like points on the enemies, everything like just looked polished and in sync with the overall visual language of the game. But just adding that little bit, just like it's a less than a second, I think, even, you know, like the zoomed in shot on her eyes added more to the scene.
Yeah, it did. It's just amazing. Like I definitely want to know when this game's coming out. Like they haven't said anything about like release date or anything. They just showed it off at TGS. And man, like this, I feel like if this is a free to play game, if that's like their heading,
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the next Genshin Impact craze for sure. Like they're leading up to it.
I can so see that actually. Yes, you're right. And yeah, you know what? Think of Genshin Impact, how polished that looked. If you haven't seen this game already, just keep that in your mind and then watch the trailer. Or better yet, just watch this 18-minute special video debut thing that they have.
So good.
Yeah.
I've watched it so many times. Yeah, it's really, really good. Like there's a lot of details. And I can confirm one thing though, that you can pet a cat in the game. So petting cats is a thing in the game. Just so you know.
they're going for the cute like aspect, like adding, I think it should be like a little point that some people will have in checklists from now on. Can you pet animals in this game? Yes. Okay. And
I will tell you one thing. If you haven't followed them already, there's actually a legit Twitter account. Can you pet the dog? That's what it's called.
I had no idea that was a thing.
That's a legit thing. And all they do for games is like, can this game pet the dog? And they will confirm, or they'll be like, yes, you can pet the dog, and they'll show a screenshot or a little video. Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay,
I'm following them.
Is it restrict? No, I mean, this is an account everybody has to follow, especially those who have pets. But is it, now I'm just curious, do they just do dogs, or did they expand into like other animals?
I can't remember if they've expanded to other animals, but like I know for a fact they do dogs, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had cats. Wait,
nice.
Can you pet?
We need to follow that account.
Here, I'll show you. It's called "Can You Pet the Dog?"
Can you pet the dog?
I'll just show on the screen real quick.
Okay, or for everyone. Now, yeah. Okay, all right. I'll add a thing to the video, like.
Yeah, please do. I'm just quickly cycling. Like the latest update, following an update, you can now pet the wolf in Fortnite. Like as an example, like this is what they do. This is their thing.
Nice.
The next one, can you pet the cat in Shenmue? So yeah, they do have cats.
Okay.
Please,
so I think they
show
started
that
out with dogs, and then they just kind of expanded, or But see, okay, I knew I have awesome ideas, but I just sometimes somebody else beats me to it. Yeah. But overall, there's a lot of hype for this game. I mean, there should be a lot of hype for this game. It looks really cool. The fighting, what we've seen of it so far, at least, looks great as well. It looks to be really fun. I wonder if the character combos, if they're fixed, because when in the trailer that they had for the reveal like a couple of months ago, I think, or might have been another video. I don't know if that was the one that was used for the initial reveal. They presented the characters in couples, like, this and that, this and that, this and that, like the butler and the little kid. So I don't know if they're like fixed set of characters that you can like switch between in game, or if you can mix and match. As you unlock more characters, you have a 3-character roster, and then you can mix and match as you want. Yeah. That would be really cool, because then that would open up the combos that you can do, or chaining attacks together from one character to the next. I think they need to just have another like highlight sort of video on who those characters are, if they haven't done that already from before, but a highlight on who those characters are and what kind of like support or attack abilities that they can add into your
that hasn't been covered in detail yet.
Well, we don't even know when the game is coming out, so I think we've got enough time to go through all of that. If they didn't announce the date yet, fair. It's not coming out anytime soon.
Honestly, for me, I wouldn't mind paying full price for the game, so it's not like a free-to-play gacha, whatever mechanics that they're gonna have linked with the characters. Personally, I know that's not good. That's not the case, because that's not their MO. Like they have all these free-to-play online games, or that's their thing. So I'm expecting this to be the same, more of the same. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. As long okay, so my thoughts on this whole free to play thing, or rather, like loot boxes or in-game purchases and whatnot. If they're just cosmetics or they're things that don't really give you an edge over somebody else that didn't pay extra money, I'm okay with it. And in this particular case, I'd be super okay with it because they've already proven they can do cosmetics or they can do like the visual aspect really, really well. So if they start adding in like customization options or different outfits or like what I don't know, it doesn't seem so far because all the characters looked like they look a specific way. They've never shown a character in a different outfit, so I don't know if that's going to be an element. But if they do introduce that, I think they're going to do a great job at it.
Hopefully, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
We'll wait and
yeah,
see. But like, yeah, waiting. I'm anticipating this is going to be a great game when it does come out.
exactly. Just like we're all anticipating the PSVR2, which made its
Nice.
public debut during TGS. The Sony had a couple of media outlets. They gave them like a closed behind doors on head experience. They played a few games. I can't remember the games now, but there was Resident Evil 8. It was that
Yeah.
Galaxy's whatever Star Wars game. What was the Horizon game called?
I think Mountain, something Mountain. Oh
Something,
man,
yeah.
I was
And
I had it in my head. Wait, Call of the Mountain, Horizon
Call of
Call
the
of the
Mountain.
Mountain.
And the
Yeah.
fourth game was
Did you say Walking
the
Dead, Saints and Sinners?
Walking Dead. Yeah, Walking Dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. Yeah.
Oh.
So we saw the Eurogamer video. They had a really good 40-minute long video talking about the whole thing. And the hype on PSVR 2 is real as well as it should be because everything about it is better. I'll try to find a clip from one of our older episodes where I said that Sony has a chance to push VR into the mainstream much further because the Quest started that. The Quest really up until now, the Quest 2 specifically was what gave it that big push with a cheaper price point, and it was a capable device and whatnot. It wasn't the best technically, but just because it can get it at a much lower price point, it made it more accessible. Sony now, with these sort of like features and how well everything looks in the game, the reporter from Eurogamer also, I think it was him or maybe somebody else, like they said this looks as good as VR on PC. The graphics
Which is
look really, which is
Yeah.
like a quite the statement to make. So yeah, here's what we know about the PSVR 2 now. It's got. We've already known that it's got a cable. Like it's a single cable solution this time, but it's a.
That's the main
Apparently,
thing,
it's
yeah.
a very light, thin cable, so you won't really feel it, and it's 4.5 meters long. So like unless you live in a mansion, that's not going to be an issue for you. If you live in a small place, what I would do is I would like hang a little thing in the ceiling, and just kind of like if you can get an
Like rope
extension
it through.
cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, rope it through because then there's really nothing dragging you around. Like there's no cable on the floor. Because the only thing I was worried about is like, what if you trip on it? Like, what if you're like so engaged in the game and like you move or
Yeah.
like you turn around or something. So yeah, but still small, light, or not small, but like a light, thin 4.5 meter cable straight to the PS5. It's apparently a lot more comfortable and lighter than the previous one. They showed off how you can adjust the headband in the back and the console, like the headset itself, how you can adjust that. So there's a little dial in the back that you can use to kind of like
Tighten or loosen
tighten
it.
it,
Yeah.
tighten it like more accurately. So it seems to be like more steps in how much you want to tighten it. There's a power button under the headset, and the PSVR 2 also has the see-through option. So there's another button for that will activate it. You'll see through the camera, so you'll see what's around you in real life. If you suddenly need to like do something or pick up a call or answer somebody, talk to somebody, you can see all of that. They also showed off their IPD calibration. So the system that will calibrate how far away the lenses are between each other and away from your eyes. So that is something that is not standard. Every single person has a different shaped head. Every single person has different distances between the eyes, different sized eyes. So that is something that you can do now on the PSVR 2. I don't think that was something you could have done on the PSVR 1.
I don't think so too. No,
Yeah.
it
So
wasn't a
that's
thing.
something that's there. The screens are like insanely good. It's like a 2000 by 2000 something pixel display per eyeball. The brightness is great. There's no screen door effect. It's like really good OLEDs that they're using.
Yeah.
And there's eye tracking as well. Did the PSVR 1 have that?
Of course not. No, no.
Uh, yeah.
This is a brand new thing for
This is
PSVR. So
everything, yeah. So with eye tracking, they'll if you don't really already know, eye tracking is a thing that already exists in a lot of like different fields. But with eye tracking, they can track where you're looking at, and that's gonna come in super handy for another thing, which is called for the for trivial something rendering. I forgot what that was, but excuse me, I forgot what the name is. But what it does is that the PSVR 2 headset is going to track your eyeballs, which means that it's going to know what you're looking at on the screen, and then it's going to render that at like full resolution, not everything else. Like even if you're looking at something that's like really far away in the distance in the game, because you're looking at it, because you're focusing on it, and the PSVR 2 knows that, it will render that spot to make sure that you're getting like a full quality sort of like a render of what you're looking at. And the reporter from Eurogamer mentioned this a couple of times, that the game, no matter like the games that he played at least, so no matter where he's looking at, everything looks great, and everything. And if you see one thing that looks great, you automatically assume that everything else is at like rendered, that well.
it's a
So
trick.
that
It's a good trick.
it's a trick. I mean, they might have been rendered that well as well, but at least like the details are a bit better on what you're focused at. So that adds to the experience, and that adds to the graphical fidelity of the game, or at least your experience of its fidelity of the game. One other feature that I liked, and I want more sort of information on it, or I just want some clarification on something, is that the headset now rumbles. So that
Yeah.
also adds to the immersiveness of whatever you're playing or whatever you're doing. So in that Horizon game, there was a bit where, and I don't know if this creature has a name or something. I don't play any of them, but there's like this big flying creature that just kind of like swooped in from the sky right above his head and then flew away. And he really felt that because the headset rumbled. I don't know if you could definitely turn off the rumbling feature, because I can imagine to some people that would be a bit too distracting. And like he did say that you can turn it off, but I wonder if there's a way where they can like make you change the intensity of the vibration, kind of like how on your phone you can change the intensity of the vibration. And something else that I wondered about is that if like either through software, if this doesn't already exist, but if they can add some sort of way to make the rumbling happen in zones. So now the whole headset rumbles by itself, but maybe only the left side, or maybe only the front left side, or maybe just like right behind you. So depending on the action that's happening in the game. So imagine this sweeping flying creature, or if you're like, there's a plane that's like flying overhead, you could feel the rumbling happen like from back to front, for example. To me, that would add a lot more to the immersiveness. But even if it's not there, just having that extra sort of sense, right? Not just on the controllers, which apparently are super comfortable, and they have like the same adaptive triggers as the DualSense controller on the PS5. So everything works really well. But if they add that sort of extra minute maybe changes to the rumbling feature on the headset, that would be like really, really good. It would add to the immersiveness some more. What else? It was
Personally,
also yeah, go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I wonder, because the PSVR 2 also was shown off in TGS as well. They had like live demo stations. So I haven't done the research yet, but I'm sure like we would hear a lot more from people's takes on this. So maybe the next time, or next Sunday, the next time we record, we can like see what people have said.
Yeah, we'll see if people like what their reactions were, and maybe we'll get some more information. But generally speaking, from what I've seen, it's overall like a really positive reaction to the PSVR 2. There are some things that you just can't deny, which is the like how light and comfortable it is. You can also adjust, if I'm not mistaken, the plastic part. You can either adjust it, or it's done in a way where it really blocks out all the light. So the plastic the plastic part that rests on your nose. It blocks out all the light, which again adds more to the immersiveness and being in this like virtual reality world. But yeah, so there are certain aspects of the PSVR2 they just can't deny. The quality of the screens, all the little things you could do, like the IPD thing, the foveal rendering, I think is what it's called. I forgot what it was called, but like that feature is great. The maybe the controllers, like people will think differently of it depending on like the size of their hands or something like that. But the adaptive triggers are there. The controllers apparently can also sense, and that was something else that I wanted them to focus on a bit more. It could also sense finger movements, so that's supposed to be so. In a way, it kind of gives you finger tracking. I don't know how well that works. Maybe also with the extra cameras, I don't really know.
I would like to know more, like as well.
I would like to
if you
know
can just use
how
your fingers.
well you can. Yeah, because in the Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 8, in that game, you can wield two weapons. You can like throw a weapon from one hand to the next and grab it, and you can grab things in the game like objects. You can close doors and whatnot. I don't know how much of that is attributed to the finger tracking, or if it's just like, oh, like you just pushed it generally, and then the animation makes it seem like you held something with two fingers, or you were pulling or pushing in a drawer by holding the handle with three or something like that. But overall, looks fantastic. It's going to be great if you can get your hands on it. Still no price as far as I know.
That's going to be the biggest issue. Like, I know you were saying accessibility and everything, and like that's what I hope for too, but I feel like the price is going to be the biggest factor right now.
Another big factor is going to be, we don't really have this issue here, I don't think, but availability of PS5s is still an issue in lots of places around the world. Like I just heard somebody like on a podcast the other day talk about how difficult it was to find, or like for some of his friends to find PS5s, and they're in Canada if I'm not mistaken. So like it's still a thing till this day. Sony is also going to increase the prices of PS5s everywhere except for the US. So there's that barrier of entry as well. It's first of all the PSVR2, we can safely assume, it hasn't been confirmed, but we can safely assume is going to be expensive, like $300 plus. So that's a lot of money. And if you don't have a PS5, but you now want one because of the PSVR2, not only do you have to pay that, but you have to pay for the console if you can find it.
Hear me out, Tim. I think there's a solution that's a bit too obvious that they might not even do it. But I feel like
I have a thought, but go on.
Yeah, I feel like if they want to reach out to more people with or without PS5s, and you want that PSVR2 experience, then it should be compatible on PC.
That's like exactly what I was thinking of. Yes.
Like it has to be the thing. Like if you want to buy it a standalone unit and still use it on a PC, since there's VR games there, or like link it up to there's rumored PlayStation launcher. Whenever that's going to come out, and it has PSVR2 games, and you can just use your computer power. Why not? Why not give that accessibility to people? And then you have a way larger consumer base, exactly. So like people without PS5s but have a good PC can still get a PSVR2. Just again,
I
it's
agree,
too obvious.
and it also plays in with this new direction that they seem to have, which is like targeting PC gamers who also own PS5s.
Yeah.
Like the monitors, for example, right? This is obviously intended for PS5 and PC gamers. If you're just a PC gamer, then by all means, you can still like enjoy our product. But there's obviously that sort of thing that they're like that niche of the market that they're going after. Same thing with the PSVR2. You know what? Get the PSVR2 now. Play it on your PC. Whenever you do get a PS5, you don't have to worry about getting another headset. You could just use that very same headset that we worked on, that you're going to love. Use it on the PS5. You're ready. You don't have to adapt or do anything else. It's there as it is.
I hope they do it.
It's a wired headset as well. It's not wireless, so it's like plug and play. You don't have to you could just plug it into the PC. You could plug it into the PS5.
Speaking of which, they never mentioned what the plug is. Has anyone mentioned what this plug? It has to be USB-C, right? Like the PlayStation
yeah,
has.
USB-C, but it also has USB-A in the back,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
whichever it is, it's like they're PC ports, right? They're PC compatible. So
It has to be.
I
I just thought of it now.
yeah. So I don't know. I really I would love if this thing came to PC
Yeah, me too.
because like I don't ever think I'll get a PS5 at all. But I also want to get a VR headset. Like I never had a VR headset. I never played a
Oh,
VR game. I would pick this one up in a heartbeat
cool.
if it's like PC compatible, PC ready. I would pick it up, even though it's like more expensive than the Quest 2, but it's worth it,
It's worth
right?
it. Sony,
Yeah.
hopefully you're listening. Tim will buy one. At
Please,
least you got one customer
I'll
there.
buy one. I'll finally buy a Sony gaming product with my own money. I think I never
Hey.
actually. Wait, the only Sony gaming product that I bought with my own money and not like a gift card thing or whatever or a gift was the extra PS4 controller, DualShock controller. That's it. That's the only Sony product that I bought. But
And
yeah,
this would actually lead into the next article that
Ooh.
we saw,
go on.
which is that according to Polygon, is that PSVR 1 games are not compatible with PSVR 2. So that might be the other thing why it's not, because it's not locked onto PlayStation like the first one. The first one you needed to have the move controllers, like to use the controller, the control scheme, and what else? And you needed the camera as well. I guess you still need the camera on the other one, or actually, do you? I'm not sure. No, I don't think you need the camera for this one. So the PSVR 1, you needed the camera and you needed the motion.
Oh no, for this one, I don't think you need the camera either, unless you want to do some like
Yeah.
body tracking or whatever. Like
Actually,
I don't know.
yeah, I think that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I think you could still play the game standalone without the camera if it's just about motion and whatnot. But if you want to track your own body,
Right.
for games like what's that game called?
Beat
The
Saber.
music game, Beat Saber. Yeah,
Beat
yeah. For
Saber.
that, I think if you want to do something like that and like stream yourself
Yeah.
or whatever,
Then you
yeah,
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's another reason why I think it wasn't compatible, or could be. I mean, so it's speculation, but we'll see. And Sony's planning to launch 20 games with the
That's
PSVR 2.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
so they're
just-
ready. They're planning it.
Just the 4 games that they showed off, and maybe 1 or 2 extra, like smaller titles or like lighter titles at launch, I think would be good. But they're launching with 20 games.
20 games, and No Man's Sky is one of them, and the Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is like the first party game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're setting themselves up for success. Like the one key thing is just the PC thing, and I think that's the missing.
Yeah.
Think.
Yeah. I would add the price as well, but if the price is high, but it also works on PC, then I guess that kind of justifies
It's
it.
justifiable. Yeah, it's so justifiable. Yeah.
Exactly. One more thing.
We'll see.
Apparently, porting games to PSVR 2 is going to be like PS5 games to PSVR 2 is going to be easy or easier because it's using the same SDK as the PS5. So when you're developing a game for the PS5, it's, in theory, shouldn't take as much time as it would have been before to kind of like develop it or port it or adapt it to VR. Or maybe, I don't know, like I could see like games in the future where portions of the game can be in VR. Not the whole game, right? But like certain portions of the game, certain like parts, certain like mechanics can be done both like on your screen, but also if you have a VR headset, you could put that on and then you could play that part. I don't know. Just there's a lot that can be done.
Then you're gonna have to be swapping in and out of the thing.
Well, I mean, it won't
know.
be like in the middle of the battle, but like it could be like the next chapter. Like if you have a VR headset, put it on now and then press start. If you don't, then just press start or like press something else. And like it can definitely be done in a way where it won't really like break your zone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it hasn't been done before, but like I'd like to see that in action.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that. Like some sort of war game, or like let's say like a Star Wars game or something like that. Oh, you know what? It would be so cool if like the second player can be in VR, for example. Like you're piloting a ship and then somebody else is manning like the guns or the weapons, whatever. And as you're flying around, they have to like adapt to your path and then like shoot down the enemies and like
Okay, that would be actually
that would
dope.
be nice.
Okay.
That would be nice. That would be nice. And you know what? This would also help if you're playing like if you're playing against each other, but you're on one TV, and if like let's say you're playing
So like you have your
an
own
FPS,
screen and he has
they got their own screen, and because I'm assuming it can still like show things in 2D if you want like a 2D plane.
But the PSVR2 has an advantage because like then you can see through the PSVR2,
Oh,
so you can
that's
press the
true.
button
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see what he's seeing.
Have
So-
you have a 4.5 meter long cable. Have them look the other way. Put them in the other room if you're or something. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Obviously, maybe
Yeah,
none
that's
of
cool.
what we speculated will ever happen. But the fact that we're
fun to
thinking
think
about
about.
these, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fact that we're thinking about how far they can go, I think, is testament enough to just how well like they're doing and how great we think they're doing, because we want to see like we want that and more now. So we'll have to wait
We just
until
want
they
more.
announce a
We
date.
want more. Yeah.
We always want more. Yeah. We have to wait until they announce a date and price.
We'll see. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope the PC thing is real.
Yeah.
And I would say that's mainly it. Like from new news, like that's what we've covered. There's one last thing I want to say, like my personal favorites from TGS. Like, it was already mentioned before, Suikoden 1 and 2
Heavily.
heavily, and like I think that was like the winner. Like Konami won TGS in my mind. They won TGS. If there wasn't the direct before and the Sony like state of play, before that, like if they were part of the direct, part of TGS, I mean, then it would have been harder for Konami to stand out. But the fact that that happened, Konami definitely won TGS in my mind. Another notable thing, I've been talking about this game forever, but like it's so close to coming out. But Sonic Frontiers gameplay has been shown off like properly, like not little bits. Like you can see the menu, you can see they showed off the maps. They finally like showed a proper gameplay trailer in TGS. And they also showed off Supersonic in one of the trailers. I don't know if you got to saw this.
I saw
like
a glimpse of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's known, but like it's nice to see. But like whenever Sonic collects all the Chaos Emeralds, he turns like Super Saiyan Gold Sonic, and then you can like speed through the world. Also, like they like I said, they showed off a bit of the menu, but like on the screen you can see like on the bottom left, you can see Sonic's level. So I think that's always there. I don't know if you can toggle it on and off, but like it's they showed like his speed, his defense, attack. And there was one ability on the top. I'm guessing it's the Psy ability when he like has this like trail behind him. I think you can like improve your ability, and they're all out of 99 levels. So there's a whole RPG system or element there to it. And we've talked about this before. Like they've shown off like the portal going into Cyberworld, but like the portals now, like the reason to go there is so you can get Chaos Keys to unlock the emeralds. So that's how you get Supersonic eventually.
Okay.
That's it. So it's again like it's more Sonic. I'm really hyped about it. Oh, and another thing in TGS, I can't remember which day it was, but like they put out an article.
I thought you forgot to mention this. I want to remind you. Yeah.
Yeah, they put out an article because of how popular this game is. They had to shut down the booth because like it was overpacked, or like people really wanted to play this game. So yeah, they had to close it down.
They've done a good job at releasing like bits and pieces about the game over like the last year or so. There was that one fiasco where the gameplay demo, I think, that they showed off had like some weird graphical stuff, but then everything after that, I didn't think it was that bad, but you know how people can be.
Neither did I, but yeah.
Yeah. But then everything else after that was like looked really well, looked really good. So I think they kudos to whoever's handling the launch of the game.
And last but not least, on my like personal top list is Octopath Traveler 2. Like, and again, they had the next day just an extended gameplay, like 20-minute gameplay of Octopath, and like they showed off a bit more of the battles, like them just traversing through the world, and it's just beautiful, man. Like the lighting, the camera angles in the battle, like they've added more dynamic angles, like when they're doing a special move or when they win at the battle, like it'll just zoom in at a different angle. I keep saying angle, but like it just adds to this whole thing.
The camera moves. The camera moves like at certain points of the game. It adds more to the. Like it makes it more dramatic.
Of the game.
Okay, we could say the depth of the game, but the scenes.
I want to say something else.
Look more. The scenes definitely do look more dramatic. It's more cinematic as well. That's the thing. You've got all these different sort of like views and different depths, and by depth I mean actual like depth of like objects in the game and the distance and all that. It visually also like it looks like. It's one of those things where if you applied that same effect to the old school game, it would still look better, right? Even if you didn't improve the graphics, even if you didn't improve the lighting, even if you didn't do anything else, but you just kind of like applied that thing. It's a direction thing, but it also adds, it's an artistic thing, really. It adds more to the scene that you're looking at just by adding these little like camera movements and whatnot. So yeah, that definitely looked really good in Octopath. The lighting on Octopath like is also so well done. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like Eiyuden Chronicles is the other Octopath game to talk about, right? That's the thing. They're both like, you know how something is the Breath of the Wild or
the
whatever.
Breath of
like,
the Wild.
So they're both the same game basically. If you think about the genre or the aesthetic or the camera work and whatnot, but with Octopath, I feel it's because the background and the characters are kind of like the same art style. Like they're more in tune with each other than with Eiyuden. Eiyuden, the background, like you really feel that the character is a pixel, like sprite character.
It stands out.
So out of place than the environment. Not in a bad way, in a very good, unique way, but with Octopath, it's more retro-ish looking, I would say, and then adding like realistic lighting to it, like RTX on Minecraft. Like it feels like that, right? But in a different game.
Also, speaking of the lighting,
really good. Yeah,
exactly. And now that they have day and night cycles, they showed it off in the trailer. Like they were fighting at night, and you can really see the lighting even more. Like the dramatic effect of it. Yeah, it's even way more highlighted there. And
even like smokes or like haze in the sky or something like. There are like these certain like I want to say environmental sort of elements as well that add to the lighting effect in general.
Totally
beautiful game. Yeah, this is an example of how a game can be beautiful, but not like realistic graphics, right? Like not the direction that the whole industry is moving in. We said the same thing about Breath of the Wild. It doesn't matter if the game doesn't run at 4K 60, for example. It doesn't matter if if the graphics aren't realistic. It's polished. It looks great. Everything works so well together. It has like the overall style is great. The game looks beautiful, and a lot of people blatantly said this is like the most beautiful game so far. This is an amazing looking game. Look at the graphics. Look at the colors. Look at this. Look at that. And it wasn't by any means close in fidelity to anything else that released that year or the year before that. Same thing about this game. It's a retro game, but it's got soul.
It's got soul. Yeah, it's got that for sure.
yeah. It's a beautiful game, but just beautiful in a completely different way. Yeah, you don't have to like be super hyper realistic. Yeah, but anyways, what I was saying is, the point I was trying to make is that I'm not saying, great graphics is a bad thing. No, it's a beautiful thing, but also other kinds of like not hyper realistic, super like, photorealistic graphics. It doesn't have to be that for a game to be beautiful. And let's end this episode with this positive beat. You don't have to be beautiful to be beautiful. You could always be beautiful.
I like it. Please, let's make that into a bumper sticker or something.
Yes,
Let's do it.
Merch. We have the first merch for the channel. So yeah, thanks for watching the episode. Drop us a like or comment for more content like this, or you can go to badgood.gg to find our audio podcast over there. We are also on Instagram and Twitter at badgoodpod, so give us a follow, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.